Welcome to If I Only Had 10 Minutes. I'm thrilled to be here with Tina McCorkindale. Hello, Tina.
Hello, Jane.
Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump into the questions.
Okay, sure. I'm the president of the Institute for Public Relations, and we're a industry organization that focuses on research in the profession, and we have membership groups and conferences, and we give out research for free to the industry.
So, going right into our questions. Why do you think some companies hesitate to embrace AI tools in their comms functions?
Yeah, so we've done research on this, and we typically see some areas. One is besides what we understand, like people are scared of the risk of AI and privacy issues, people uploading proprietary data. So that's a given. But what we've also seen, and this has been supported by McKinsey, is that the C suite doesn't think the employees are as ready, even though the employees are like, we're already using it. So
Right.
I think sometimes they hesitate because they worry about their employees and change, but the employees are already driving ahead and have like zero sort of guardrails or guidelines of what to do.
We've read a lot about that disconnect, right, between the C-suite and employees. And sometimes you hear the C-suite's super ready and the employees aren't. And other times, depending on the industry, and then you hear that the employees are already in it and using it, and the C-suite is hesitant. It's interesting, I think. What do you think people misunderstand about hiring a fractional communications leader?
Yeah, for fractional communication leaders, which seen such an increase in this, and probably especially since COVID, I say that the hesitation is that they won't understand the organization. Yet, on the other hand, having someone who isn't embedded in the day-to-day organization is really important to get that sort of outside feel. And also, you bring in more sort of perspectives and skills and opportunities to like improve the function.
It's interesting you say that because we all know, we talk to a lot of CCOs and we all know that we're generalists by and large, right? We can move industries. You need to
Yeah,
understand the industry ultimately, but it's about comp. And yet they are totally hesitant about that, this fear of someone not understanding, that I think we have to sort of combat a little bit to help people realize that, like, it could be you, like you could be jumping in and you would figure out how to do it because that's what we do. So,
absolutely. Everyone in an organization has jumped in some part and
right.
contributed, well, most likely contributed positively to
Right.
the
No,
culture.
you're 100% right. I'm going to change tax a little bit. Who is the best communicator you've ever seen in action and why?
Okay, this is controversial. This
Oh,
may get you canceled, Jane.
oh
I
no.
don't know.
Go for it.
Well, so I want to say, not like, I would say communicator, I use that term loosely, but I went to the seminar and Kellyanne Conway was there.
Hmm.
And I was so fascinated and amazed. Like 100% don't agree with her politically, but the way she showed up and just how polished she was,
Yep.
how she never hesitated. She would say things kind of uh you're like, did she just say that? But she would do it so like fluently. I'll say
Hmm.
fluently is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
And she just rattled off a bunch of numbers. By the way, she was incorrect. Like some of her stuff was totally made up, but
Hmm.
she was almost like a robot, but she also conveyed, she was also very engaged and very, I was just so fascinated by her and a little frightened, to be honest. So,
I'd argue with my husband about this because he, whatever his political reaction was to her, I said, but she is so good at what she does, right?
yes.
And she's very good at what she does. You may not like what she says, but she's really good at it.
She was
So,
so good. And then the other gentleman who I won't name who was with her, she
mhm,
just like cleaned the floor with him. And he was like not as polished, but she was, as far as communicator, she was very polished and she got her
mhm,
message across.
yeah.
And even I remember people were asking her questions and she was very, very engaged. And you could tell that she totally believed like everything she was saying. Whereas like current administration, you see people talk, you're like, oh, they're just sort of, they don't believe this, what they're
Right.
saying. So
Right.
yeah.
If you could make a rule that everyone in communications had to follow, even if it was just for a week, what would it be?
Um, one rule.
One.
Um, that people would have to, well, I go between like respond to emails in a timely manner.
Mhm.
That would
Please.
be it. Respond to request in a timely manner. And then I would just email everyone with outstanding emails on Monday. And
Right.
then you said by like I have a week. So by Friday, I should be caught up and everything's like nicely packaged. So
No, I agree with you. I made a request recently to someone and I wrote it and they came back to me within 5 to 10 minutes with a fast no. And I was like, thank you. I really said thank you. It's like, because a
yeah,
fast no is as good, is not quite as good as a fast yes or a yes, but at least I know where I stand and I can move on.
yes,
So
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
agree.
just like acknowledge. And I don't think people realize, following up on emails, sometimes you'd follow up even like when people have stuff and they know they have stuff, like 5 times that takes, if you think like it takes, a few minutes each time, dig out where is the email? I have it on my list. And you've just taken like 25 minutes for me to
Yeah.
follow up with your
No,
email.
I agree with you. I think that's pretty interesting. All right, we talked about this a little bit before we started. What's a hobby or interest, or I'll say a talent that most people would be surprised to learn that you have?
Okay, so I am a avid tennis player.
Okay.
I play like every day. I play every day and I play competitively in matches.
Wow.
So I'm like a hardcore tennis player.
I can see you being competitive. Do you play singles or doubles?
I play both.
Play both. What's your preference?
I would have said singles like 6 months ago, but I'm kind of enjoying the double strategy. But singles is definitely a much better workout than doubles. Doubles, like you're not like sweating to death. Singles, you sweat quite a bit,
Right.
which I enjoy sweating. Which yeah, that's another hidden
There you go.
eccentricity.
Another hidden thing about another hidden
Another
interest.
hidden thing about me. I love to sweat. So, and I do it so easily too. So,
Yes. Yes. We won't go there, but yes. Um, if you had a go-to hype song before a
oh,
big meeting or presentation. So, I asked a lot of people, what they do or how they do to prepare. But in this case, if you really have to hype yourself up, what's the song? Is it a Taylor Swift song?
yeah, I don't really get nervous like before speaking, but sometimes before tennis matches, I play like very women's and like I'll play Girls by Beyonce or like sometimes the like Taylor Swift anthems I'll play. I also love Lady Gaga. I think
Sure.
she's pretty amazing. So she has like Abracadabra like or she has Poker Face, like some very just hard female powered anthems is typically what I listen to that are also very upbeat. And I avoid songs that are about like failed romances
So
or
not a lot of Morissette.
exactly right. You don't want like her, like, except when she wants to like rip someone, that's okay. Cause like
Right.
one of her big anthems was
Right. Because
like,
that'll really hype you up.
yes, like her age, she has some angry songs, but yeah,
It does.
yeah.
That's good.
There you
I
go.
remember
What do
listening.
you listen to, Jane? What's your hype song?
It's a good question. I really should be prepared to answer these questions myself because someone could turn it back at me
Like I just did.
like you
Yeah.
just did. I'll come back to you with that. Listeners, I'll come back to you. Tina, we've made it to the end. So here's my last question.
Sure.
If you had, and maybe I know the answer now, if you had an extra 10 minutes in your day, what would you do?
Oh, extra 10 minutes, I would force my kids to hang out with me and they would have to want to. Because it's not consistent. Like sometimes, like I'm watching Stranger Things with my youngest, and then my daughter's like, "Oh, hey, let's go do this." But I would just anytime that they want to hang out with me, I take advantage of it. They're at that age, so
No, that's right. Actually, it's true. If your kids want to talk to you, no matter what you're doing, you should stop what you're doing and
drop
talk.
it.
Yep.
Absolutely. When my son, my oldest, comes in, who's going to college next year, and he's like, "Hey, mom," and I'm like, "Oh, done. What? What? I don't care. Call's not important. Are you talking to me?" Like, yeah, yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah.
Tina, thank you so much. I want to do this again because I have like a million more questions for you.
I know we should just hang out,
We should
like
just hang out.
outside
That's actually a better
podcast.
answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks.